Every year, automakers release flashy new models hoping to grab attention. But not every car is a winner. In fact, some 2025 models are already piling up on dealer lots, collecting dust and begging for buyers. And when even dealers can't move them, that's a massive red flag. These are the cars that promise big on paper but fail miserably in the real world. Whether it's poor reliability, sky-high repair costs, outdated tech, or simply being overpriced compared to better options. Buyers aren't fooled, and the market is speaking loud and clear. So today, we're diving into the 7 cars in 2025 that no one wants, and why smart buyers like you should think twice before driving one home. Number 7. Volkswagen ID.4. On the surface, the Volkswagen ID.4 should have been a smash hit. It's an affordable electric SUV from a trusted global brand. Sounds like a recipe for success, right? But in 2025, the ID.4 is sitting unsold on dealership lots across the country. One of the biggest complaints is the frustrating user experience. Owners consistently point out that the infotainment system feels slow, clunky, and unintuitive. Even basic functions, like adjusting climate controls, can feel like a chore, making everyday driving more frustrating than enjoyable. And in a world where Tesla and even Kia are offering cutting-edge, lightning-fast systems, the ID.4 just feels dated. Range is another sore spot. While newer EVs are pushing well past 300 miles per charge, the ID.4 struggles to stay competitive, offering around 270 miles in real-world driving. Pair that with slower charging speeds compared to rivals, and suddenly this affordable EV feels more like a compromise than a smart buy. Then comes resale value. With EV technology evolving so quickly, used ID.4s are already losing value fast, leaving buyers worried about getting stuck with a depreciating asset. Dealers can slash prices and throw in incentives, but the market has spoken. The ID.4 is falling behind in the EV race, and buyers are walking away. Number 6. Nissan Altima. The Nissan Altima has been a staple in the midsize sedan world for decades, but in 2025 it's become one of those cars dealers are struggling to convince people to take home. On paper it looks fine, decent fuel economy, a roomy cabin, and a reputation as a reliable commuter. But in reality, the Altima has lost its spark. One major issue is that it feels outdated in almost every way. Competitors like the Honda Accord and Hyundai Sonata are packing in modern, sleek interiors with advanced tech, while the Altima still feels like it's stuck in 2017. The cabin materials don't exactly scream quality, and the infotainment system, while functional, is far from class-leading. Buyers today expect more, and the Altima just doesn't deliver. Performance is another letdown. While Nissan advertises its sporty handling and even offers an all-wheel drive option, the truth is the Altima feels sluggish and uninspired behind the wheel. In a market where sedans are fighting to stay alive by being exciting and stylish, the Altima just comes across as boring transportation. Then there's resale value, another sore spot. Used car buyers know there are better options with longer lifespans, and as a result, the Altima depreciates quicker than rivals. Even dealers offering heavy discounts have a tough time making it appealing when buyers know they'll lose money the moment they drive it off the lot. The Altima isn't a terrible car, but it's the definition of meh, and in today's competitive market, that's the kiss of death. Number 5. Chevrolet Blazer EV. When Chevy announced the Blazer EV, people expected a bold, stylish, and affordable electric SUV that could compete with Tesla and Hyundai. Instead, the 2025 Blazer EV has turned into a cautionary tale. The first problem? Pricing. For a mid-sized SUV with Chevy's badge, many buyers feel the MSRP is simply too high compared to rivals offering longer ranges, faster charging, and better overall tech. Chevy aimed to make the Blazer EV a premium-feeling vehicle, but consumers still see Chevrolet as a mass-market brand, meaning the price tag doesn't match the badge. Then there's the rollout. The Blazer EV has been plagued with delays, limited trims, and confusing configurations. Early buyers have complained about software glitches and spotty charging compatibility, which quickly tarnished its reputation. And when you're competing in a fast-growing EV market, word spreads quickly. Even the styling, while sharp, hasn't been enough to win buyers over. It looks good in photos, but once people test drive it and compare it against options like the Hyundai Ioniq 5 or Kia EV6, the Blazer EV feels like it's trying too hard, without offering the substance to back it up. Dealers are stuck in a tough spot. They're marking down prices and offering incentives, but buyers simply aren't interested in being guinea pigs for Chevy's EV experiment. Number 4. Chrysler 300. The Chrysler 300 has had a long run as a bold, full-sized sedan, but by 2025 it's clear the market has completely moved on. What was once seen as a stylish, luxury-leaning alternative is now outdated in almost every respect. The design hasn't significantly changed in years, and it shows. While other brands are pushing sleek, futuristic looks, the Chrysler 300 still feels boxy and dated, appealing to a very limited audience. Step inside, and it's the same story. Dated materials, limited tech features, and a cabin that feels behind competitors in every measurable way. Performance doesn't save it either. Yes, the V6 and V8 options give it some muscle car charm, but the poor fuel economy is a massive downside in a world where efficiency and electrification are becoming standard. Buyers are far less forgiving when a car guzzles gas but doesn't offer the refinement of true luxury sedans. The final nail in the coffin? Chrysler as a brand doesn't inspire much confidence. With such a limited lineup and declining market presence, buyers are worried about long-term support, parts availability, and resale value. Dealers are finding it nearly impossible to move these cars, even with steep discounts. Number 3. Mazda CX-90. The Mazda CX-90 was supposed to be Mazda's big step into the premium SUV market. It replaced the beloved CX-9 and promised more space, better engines, and a luxury experience without the luxury badge. But the reality hasn't matched the marketing. One of the biggest issues is pricing. The CX-90 starts at a much higher base price than the outgoing CX-9, and once you add options, it quickly climbs into luxury brand territory. The problem? Buyers willing to spend that much money usually want a badge like BMW, Lexus, or Mercedes on the grille, not Mazda. Then there's the performance. While the inline-six engine and plug-in hybrid sound impressive on paper, reviews have pointed out that real-world driving feels sluggish and less refined than expected. Combine that with lower-than-expected fuel economy, and the CX-90 loses its edge as a smart alternative to luxury SUVs. Interior space, while improved, still doesn't feel as roomy or comfortable as rivals. Families shopping for a 3-row SUV often find better value in a Kia Telluride or Hyundai Palisade, both of which offer more features for less money. The result? Dealers are finding the CX-90 a hard sell. Buyers either go cheaper with mainstream rivals or jump up to real luxury brands, leaving the CX-90 stuck in a weird no-man's land. Number 2. Toyota CHR. Toyota has a reputation for reliability, but even the strongest brands have a few misses, and the 2025 CHR is one of them. The problem starts with the design. Toyota tried to make the CHR a stylish, coupe-like crossover, but the end result is cramped, awkward, and impractical. The sloping roofline cuts into rear headroom and cargo space, making it far less useful than competitors in the subcompact SUV class. Performance doesn't help its case. The engine is underpowered, making highway merges and uphill climbs frustrating. And while Toyota usually nails hybrid efficiency, The CHR's fuel economy isn't much better than larger, more practical crossovers. Buyers look at it and think, why settle for less space and less performance, with no real savings at the pump? The cabin also lags behind. While Toyota's newer models like the Prius and Camry are pushing forward with modern, high-tech interiors, the CHR feels like an afterthought. Basic plastics, smaller screens, and limited features compared to rivals. Even Toyota's legendary reliability can't save this one. With competitors like the Honda HR-V, Hyundai Kona, and Kia Seltos offering more style, space, and value, buyers are skipping the CHR entirely. Dealers are practically begging customers to take them off the lot. Number 1. Infiniti QX50. Luxury crossovers are everywhere, but the Infiniti QX50 has become one of the hardest to sell in 2025. Despite carrying a premium badge, it just doesn't stand out in one of the most competitive markets in the industry. The first major flaw is the engine. Infiniti marketed its variable compression turbo engine as a game-changer, but in practice, it feels underwhelming. It lacks the smoothness and power buyers expect from a luxury SUV, and fuel economy isn't as impressive as advertised. When rivals like Lexus and BMW deliver more engaging performance and better efficiency, the QX50 falls flat. Inside, the cabin is another disappointment. Yes, it looks nice at first glance, but once you start using it daily, flaws become obvious. The dual-screen infotainment system is clunky and outdated compared to modern single-screen setups, and materials don't feel on par with true luxury rivals. It's the kind of interior that feels almost there, but never quite reaches premium. Then there's the resale value. Infiniti, as a brand, has been losing ground in the US market, and that shows in depreciation. Buyers know that in just a few years, a QX50 will be worth far less than competing luxury SUVs, making it a risky buy. Dealers can't mask these problems, no matter how many discounts they throw in. At the end of the day, the QX50 proves that not every luxury badge guarantees a luxury experience. And there you have it. 7 cars in 2025 that dealerships are practically begging you to take home, but for all the wrong reasons. From outdated sedans to overpriced EVs and underwhelming luxury SUVs, these vehicles remind us that shiny marketing and big promises don't always translate to a smart buy. But here's the real question. Would you still take one of these if the dealer knocked $10,000 off the sticker price? Or is a bad car still a bad deal, no matter the discount? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear if you've test-driven or owned any of these models. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss the latest breakdowns of the best and worst cars hitting the market. Because in today's auto world, making the wrong choice could cost you thousands. Stay smart, stay informed, and I'll see you in the next one.